I was never the same after that moment happened, and it led me to believe that these online marketplaces are all truly shady in nature. Not that this is too important to know, but I'm basically your average old man, trying hard to see the meaning in life after living for so long. But don't think I'm that old. Apparently, I'm just getting there. Anyways, I don't believe in this new age technology that keeps getting made. Back in my day, less was more, but now it seems that more is less. People want things done yesterday, leaving people like me days behind. My son's kids would often come over and tell me how inconvenient my life must be with so little technology around. But I only have what I need, and I don't need a lot. One time, and it was this time that really started everything, they told me about this new website where you could buy almost anything that was advertised all over the place. They waved around their phones and iPads and computers my son had got them as they excitedly told me that I should order something off there. As usual, I just laughed them off, saying that there wouldn't be anything I need to buy off there. But they insisted that I at least give it a try, and if there's anything I can't stand, it's my grandchildren getting all disappointed. I told them that I would check it out later, but didn't guarantee I'd buy anything, which satisfied them. The day went by pretty quickly as I spent a good time with them and my son. I almost completely forgot about what I'd said I'd do until I was just about to go to sleep. Reluctantly, I turned on my computer and racked through my brain to remember what the website called. Oh yeah, TEMU. I typed it in. The website had lots of things to buy, from random household objects to clothing. Nothing that I'd want to get, but it did look promising. I spent the next 10 minutes scrolling down through what they had to offer, believing in what my grandchildren had said. It looked convenient, legit, promising. I could see people buying from this in the future. I kept scrolling down and started noticing the more I scrolled, the more random and strange the products started to get. One showed a piece of clothing titled, "My Grandmother's Pants." Another showed a bin of Pop-Tart titled, "Used Pop-Tart." Was this some sort of joke? Just as I was beginning to gain respect, I was instantly starting to lose it. And there was one that caught my eye and made me reread the title again and again. The background of the website appeared darker and maybe glitchier around this product. It showed a picture of a dark, glitchy forest background with something standing behind a tree. It was a dark figure, and the picture had so much noise in it that you couldn't tell exactly what it was. The title of it was Pet Dogman. I was so intrigued by what the description of this product was that I clicked on it. You know when you experience a strong feeling that causes you to react without realizing it? That was basically what caused me to click on it without thinking. The description was short but interesting. It read, "One of the greatest creatures you could ever encounter. This dogman likes to roam around and explore. It also likes treats." I scrolled down to see if there were any reviews, and surprisingly there actually were. One read, "Best purchase I ever got." Another read, "I never would have believed it, but it came." I wasn't aware of the concept of fake reviews until after the whole incident occurred, so I thought that real people left them. Maybe there's the smallest possibility that some did. I highly doubt that though. I don't know what kind of demonic energy must have persuaded me to buy it. Perhaps because I didn't know what a dogman was, but I pressed buy faster than I could ever expect. Unexpectedly, it said it would arrive later tonight. Exhausted, I went to bed, hoping that with this purchase my grandchildren would be more than satisfied. That night, in the back of my head, I could hear shuffling noises somewhere in the house. At one point, I think I got up to check on the kids, saw they were okay, and went back to sleep. My son was in the room right across from mine, and he was sound asleep as well. But every time I thought I would fall completely asleep, I was woken up by unexplainable noises. I opened my eyes and saw that it was only 3 a.m. Clearly, I wasn't going to fall asleep easily, which was very unusual. I usually sleep like a baby the second my eyes are shut. But because my body was up and awake, I decided I would get something to eat from the kitchen. I got up and slowly walked down the hallway, feeling like there was something different about my house. I could feel it. With every step, something mysterious followed right behind. I suddenly could feel a cold breeze hitting me in the face, and as I followed this breeze, I saw with pure shock and terror that the front door of my house was completely open wide. It swayed back and forth slightly from the wind pushing against it. I stood there for a moment in horror, but snapped out of it and closed the door, making sure to lock it tight. The scariest part was that I always leave the door locked shut, so somebody must have forced it open somehow. But without making a big sound, I was sure everyone would have heard someone forcing the door open. Thoughts were traveling through my mind at the speed of light, but I knew that right now we needed to leave the house. It was definitely not safe. But as I was about to run and wake everyone up, I heard a low, guttural growl that almost gave me a heart attack. Standing a few feet behind me was the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was huge. It was furry. It was unreal. In that moment, one word swirled around my head unrelentingly. Dogman. I could see it, its dog-like appearance mixed with that of a brute beast. Although some parts of it looked thin and unfed, others looked muscular and threatening. It was in a class all of its own. It breathed heavily, its eyes glowing ever so slightly, fixated on me. From the looks of it, my TEMU package had arrived, but it was not what I was expecting. For once, I hoped my package wouldn't come, that it would be some sort of scam, but that just wasn't true. The dogman growled a little more, taking a huge step forward on its bulky hind legs. I took a step back, almost falling backwards. Its presence almost completely drained all my energy. The dogman gave a loud, indescribable roaring noise that almost made me deaf and came even closer to where I was. In a flash, the hallway lights went on as my son ran to the scene in a panic. He stopped as soon as he saw the creature, and I turned to look at him with increased annoyance. My grandchildren followed behind, and with wide eyes, one asked if it was a werewolf and where it had come from. Actually, I told them, that's what I ordered off TEMU. You what? My son yelled, but then piped down as the dogman crouched aggressively, looking ready to do something. My son, in a low, non-aggressive sounding tone, told me to open the door so that he could try to get the dogman to leave the house. With no other options available, I did what he said, slowly and carefully. But when I opened the door, the dogman leaped forward at me, claws ready to slice me. I slid out of the way, and it slid forward out the door. My son raced to shut it, and almost flew forward as the dogman pushed against it. The grandchildren looked scared out of their minds as they watched while holding each other. After a couple of minutes of trying, it seemed either uninterested or bored, and left to who knows where. We all agreed to not sleeping for the rest of the night, and not ever ordering anything that looked even remotely suspicious. I know I never expected to be delivered an actual creature. I contacted TEMU about it, and they never admitted to anything. When I tried looking for the Dogman product again, it disappeared as though it never existed. To this day, I'm very hesitant about buying most things, and maybe after this, you are too. Let's hope that you never end up seeing anything like I did, because that kind of experience is something like out of a horror film. So, would you order off TEMU? Hope you enjoy that story, and I'll see you in the next one. See you on the flip side.